Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Devil May Cry 4 on Legendary Dark Knight difficulty, and this is the Forest of Ruin. So it'll be our fourth time through this particular forest. 2 is Nero and 2 is Dante. So this area here, you can get these by using the drive or the shotgun. The shotgun has very good detection if you're at a realistic angle for hitting those things. And the reason I come back here is because you can get a couple of Devil Trigger orbs from those plants. Plus you'll need those for the orb requirement for this chapter. But these things are called faults. And I don't think anybody can openly say that they've never got eaten and transported to the... It doesn't happen. You're going to get bitten. I don't care how good you are. Maybe not in your later days of playing, but when this game first came out, you were getting grabbed by that thing. I don't care what you say. How many times did I get grabbed by it? I got grabbed by it about 4 or 5 times this evening when I was trying to do this chapter, and it's very annoying. So the only thing that I will say in their defense is that at least they don't randomly come up anywhere. They come up in... If it's not like the exact same area, it's at least in the general vicinity of where you just saw it come up last. So you could bait it to come up, and it will come up. And if you hit it enough, you'll be able to kill it without using your Devil Trigger. But if you want a quick guaranteed kill, activate the Devil Trigger and hit it a couple of times. They're a very bad nuisance, and nobody likes them. But who do you fault for the faults? I don't know. Whoever put them in the game, I suppose. So we are using the decloaking method here. This is one of those areas where I was getting eaten by the faults many a time because it takes him quite a long time to put the attaché case away, and before I could jump away, I was getting eaten. And I have to say the checkpoints are pretty decent in this chapter. This is a mandatory fight versus several Fausts. But there's one thing you can do if you don't want to fight, if you want to ensure that you don't get grabbed, you can go around and systematically kill all the faults. There's usually no more than 5 per zone, maybe 6 for one of the larger zones that will be coming up, but if you really want to do that, I think I might even be doing that in the next part. I can't remember if I do it, but anytime you see me do that, it's a complete mistake. I assume I have Swordmaster equipped, but I haven't switched the style, so... actually, that might not be the reason. I think the reason is I'm assuming the character is pointed one direction, and things are happening so hectically. I'm trying to worry about not getting bitten and eaten that I press the directional button, the left analog stick, away from me when I need to be pointing it. Like when I say away from me, I mean behind me when I need to be pointing it in front of me, and that's the reason why the spaceship comes up. But you can go to some of the more neutral areas on the map where the faults don't come. That's another viable option, but you're usually moving around quite a lot to deal with these enemies here, and you will go to a sector where a fault is. It just happens that way. So what happens if you get eaten by a fault? You will have to do a mandatory small skirmish on the ground, and you'll be sent back to the most recent checkpoint. If there is none, you'll be sent back to the very beginning of the stage. Very heartless, and just a stupid kind of enemy. No real justification for having it in the game. Okay, so now we need to go to the next section, and I think this is a pretty huge fight, and I will know if we get a checkpoint over here because I know the section by its territory and geography over here, so I will know if we get a checkpoint. Okay, I think, yes, this is the area where you get a checkpoint. So even if you get eaten here, you'll start right over here. So I think I am actually gonna kill the faults. There's one over here, so we've killed 2 now. And then there's another one over by the trees over here. They don't have much HP, but if you don't start hitting them the second they're visible, they're likely going to descend and you'll have to bait them out of the ground again. Unfortunately, the blitz will come if you've killed a certain number of enemies, even if that number of enemies includes some of the faults. So this is pretty challenging just because of the faults. Because I'm going out of my way to kill all of them. Because once they're gone, I have no hardships whatsoever. You know, maybe kind of tracking down the blitz amongst all these enemies and doing the real impact without getting interrupted, that's always a challenge, but at least you can rest assured that at no given time are you going to be inconveniently pulled down to another section and have to restart the checkpoint, pretty much. So same tactics here, advanced tactics. We're doing Royal Guard after the aerial Y attack, which is a kick with this Gilgamesh weapon. And it's not hard to see where the blitz is unless he doesn't have his electricity. If he has the force field not on him, then he just looks like a regular Mega Scarecrow, which he doesn't resemble in design, but in bulk he resembles somewhat. So we're going to go around the map and use our strong attacks, use our ranged attacks, and hopefully we can get this guy dispatched before the Mega Scarecrows get over here. Okay, so here he is, devoid of his electric force field. And these guys generally don't give me too much of a problem. They're designed in such a way so that the player can do the real impact. I believe that's what they were designed for. They were designed not to do jerky movements. And sometimes they do, but it's very rare. I mean, they are very docile once they're out of their electric field. Now, you might disagree with that. It might have happened to you where the guy tries to slash you a couple times, but for the most part, he doesn't move that much. I mean, they could have made it a lot worse. So here's a great opportunity to do this same move here, the drive. Such a great move. It's a fantastic one. Excellent ranged attack. And admittedly, this character is no less reliable and capable than Nero. I just personally find that it's not a more fun experience with this character. But since it's challenging me more, I am having a good time playing this game, even though I might sound kind of bored right now. But it's just because it's over 80 degrees in my room and I have stacks of these videos to commentate over because it just got kind of carried away. So I am thoroughly enjoying the guide. So you can also, when you need to do that throw with the sword, you can buffer it. What I mean by that is you can do the Y pause, Y attack, or even the drive, and then the whole time you're doing the drive you can be holding down the Y button, and when you come out of that move you'll have the sword charged up and you can throw it, which is called, I think it's called the Royal Flush attack. I think so. Now this is a perfect way to stun these guys. I wanted to example that. what you do is you punch the ground and you knock them over, and it takes them so long to recover that you can probably get off 2 real impacts before they ever get to their feet. But obviously the first one would knock them over and put them back on their feet eventually. But there is no checkpoint out here, unless they decided to put one on here for this difficulty. But as far as I know, the checkpoints are all exactly the same as Dante Must Die. And all the other checkpoints. It's all the same from every difficulty mode. So, I think it's only chimeras here. And this was an excruciating encounter on Dante Must Die because you had Chimera and Scarecrows out here that just came that way by default. Either that or Chimera and Blades. It was some kind of Chimera-infused enemy, but it was nonetheless strugglesome. And that's not even a fucking word. What am I talking about? Strugglesome? Jesus Christ. Oh, and there's faults here, so you've got to watch out for the zones that have those guys in there. But this here, his streak, it works really well, even though I don't think it's called the streak for this character. So, if you want to now, you can go in the mansion to get the combat adjudicator and some more egg sacs. Or you can just go this way to clear the level. So now we're going the opposite way. Here's the cache of orbs. These are called something. I don't know what they're called. They have a unique name that I've forgotten. Now we're going through this log here. And you might maybe wonder why I have so many red orbs, because I started this out with very few and I've bought absolutely nothing. Because why buy something when you're disposed to not use any items, which I am. So, some running here. And the next chapter will be in the castle, and I will see you there presently. It's called Fortuna Castle. Take care, everybody. Bye.